They think that other AFP party and the wish of the party and all in the country, they can't talk that why you can talk. And like people said and the course are more pan. You're passing around threatening people. Echo are listening to you. The whole world is all the threatening remind your camera. Nobody talking to your who. Your who, by the way. You need a party and a who. You want to. So you're trying to tell all that your own like bro. That your own like bro. And first time for let me tell you what happened in the country. When we were here, you know why you need your child going to school? The child in uniform. Then they take that child from the school campus straight, they throw him in because they say go for a war. That child go for a war, you know about going, they grab him, they kill him. My first time voter, let me tell you, when they cooking him up be me in front of you, ask anybody, they can form jealous soap. Killing people, young children in front of all. In our hometown, we should throw that, cutting people children, but taking their heart off, cooking them in our party, in our yard. Those same people that did that scene, they the one coming to you, they say they came to rescue. You came to rescue like bro with bad voice. You came to rescue like bro that putting fear in the citizen. Then you say we suffering. They suffering are going on back, you part of 800%. They suffering are going on in like bro, yeah. You United Party, you part of 800%. Who get the free port of Morovia? You and my Eddie said that and ran airport for 25 years. How many years will go? They posted in Pong. Business people know all the Liberians know what going on in the country, but they will sit there, everything, Jawia. Or somebody not eat Jawia. My girlfriend, I go to Jawia. They want to go, they'll all sit down. They're the foreigner progressing our own country. Every day we sit down, we talk plenty. At the end of the day, doing nothing, no achievement. Everybody want where you going. So if you're not where you going, you can't survive. Sit down. Some now one. Whatsoever you're telling, let me just tell you. Some of us saying that our day was say we're not scared. We're not scared. You know, that you talking.
So that's it. So let me talk to some of the direct beneficiary. I see you dancing, man. What tell me? I see you dancing. Yeah, no, she dancing. Yeah, so I started the children all celebrating. Everything. You know, they were setting up current and everything. You know, so I see you dancing. You're so happy. Tell us how you feel.
I feel good.
Where are you, Mama? Where are you?
Money, Patricia Blambo.
I see you just dancing.
I'm so happy. I mean, what you say, sir? They see your benefit. Yeah. The one answer gave me $700.
Is that what you're paying for one arm? $50 US?
Yes.
Every 2 weeks or every month or what? Every month.
US.
In a deal on that. So I use your money when you're paying that money.
What do you get out of manage?
So I was saying like, you know, when you saw the exit coming, putting lepo, putting the wire thing, you did it.
I'm on the team of LEC. I was going to first of all talk about LEC. I'm on the channel for LEC. I'm not going to first of all talk about LEC. I will put people together to the LEC car. So I'm so happy to see LEC. There's a good job here. For the day I was young, I was going to see I was going to see my grave. The day the person go back to him. My whole family will die with him.
For the current.
As the Liberian presidential election approaches, 2 camps of voters are seeking to elect and re-elect their candidates. One group of voters is voting for the future, whilst the other is voting for the past. The voters that are voting for the past are voting against the harmonization exercise. They are voting to see again a single government official pay rise from 15 to 30,000 USD monthly salaries. They are voting for the decrease of civil servants and increase of salaries. They are voting to get money back into the pockets of government officials and civil servants, getting back to having excessive funds. When men will be able to spend a lot on women and high-ranking officials will get back to buying properties abroad and paying mortgages in the U.S. They are voting to end free tuition policy at the University of Liberia and all public universities, as well as end the payment by government for the West African examination fees. On the other hand, the voters that are voting for the future are voting to see the continuities of infrastructure development, like highways, feeder roads, from government renting private buildings to owning theirs. They are voting for improvement on technology, like the migration of the OA registration process at all public universities. As the Liberian presidential election approaches, two kinds of voters are seeking to elect and re-elect their candidates. One group of voters is voting for the future, whilst the other is voting for the past. The voters that are voting for the past are voting against the As the Liberian presidential election approaches, two kinds of voters are seeking to elect and re-elect their candidates. One group of voters is voting for the future, whilst the other is voting for the past. The voters that are voting for the past are voting against the harmonization exercise. They are voting to see again a single government official pay rise from 15 to 30,000 USD monthly salaries. They are voting for the decrease of civil servants and increase of salaries. They are voting to get money back into the pockets of government officials and civil servants, getting back to having excessive funds. When men will be able to spend a lot on women and high-ranking officials will get back to buying properties abroad and paying mortgages in the U.S. They are voting to end free tuition policy at the University of Liberia and all public universities, as well as end the payment by government for the West African examination fees. On the other hand, the voters that are voting for the future are voting to see the continuities of infrastructure development, like highways, feeder roads, from government renting private buildings to owning theirs. They are voting for improvement on technology, like the migration of the OH registration process at all public universities to the digitization of all public university systems. They are voting for the continuities of free tuition policy at all public universities and colleges in Liberia. They are voting for the continuities of construction of free housing units for poor citizens. They are voting for the continuities of building more recreational centers like these, and as well building more hospitals around the country. Now, let me see in the comment section, are you for the past or the future? What kind of voter are you?
You talking all kind of food. You win election, you win it. You not win it, you not win it. What getting yourself afraid? You are the United Party people. They think that there's an Akumi party can't talk about your country. They think that other AFP party, I know which of the party and all in the country, they can't talk about your country. And like bro both said, and the course are more fun. You're passing around threatening people. Echo are listening to you. The whole world is because the threatening remind your camera. Nobody talking to your who. Your who, by the way, you need a party and a who. You want to. So you're trying to tell all that your own life, bro. That your own life, bro. And first time for let me tell you what happened in your country. When we were here, you know why you need your child going to school? A child in uniform. Then they take that child from the school campus straight, they throw him in because they say go for a walk. That child go for a walk, you not know about when they grab him, they kill him.
They bring her to go see to the main store.
Oh, so the man wanted for you to go steal from the web post store.
Yeah, he said I'm joining to go see to the web main store to they get money into the store. They will go take it from there. I said, "Mama, how many bars for the same lecture?
Then how can the police catch you now?
The police before the man call me back. Now on the 18th, they more.
The same man now.
Yeah, the same man.
The same man who want for you to go steal.
Yeah, he called me on the 18th.
Yeah.
Now in the around about 8:30, the man called me. He said, "Oh, my man, I let you be and call you back again."
So that time you go to work?
I go to work. I go to work.
You leave for your working place, not to the man.
Yeah, I'm from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now.
No, I'm not go steal. I go sleep. I go to yeah. How you question me, man? The thing you want for me to explain for you to understand, then you still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I say
When they call you in there now.
when a man come in there,
Yeah.
he asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say we are 3.
You told the message you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
The message you want to give you what?
tea. Have milk tea.
Oh, milk tea.
Yeah.
For you to drink.
With bread.
The bread.
3 pieces of real bread.
With egg inside.
You add into my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say carry it to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food make you now carry that so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah, when I give it to the man, the man say thank you. I say okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right car. So one of my friend call me.
And the same man you going to now.
Yeah, the same man.
And the man tell you say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In the Jeep.
In a G. Then they are 2.
A big Jeep. Oh.
Yeah.
That one.
Black BG, photo G.
Photo Jeep.
Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
Air condition all inside.
no, Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the water now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people that can come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, can I say when I move from here, I'll free? Can I say when I move from here, I'll free?
In our very community, so no, it's
We now go over to Robert Tier of the Unity Party.
yeah, everything I do, we must first tell the thing to the people.
That's what I'm saying.
And we've been doing that with the people clean the champagne in our very community. So, no, in social science, we go to people and ask them what they need. And so you posing them to say, I need this. But if you ask your people, then what do you carry to them? So before I ask them what they need, and what they need, we take them to them.
Your 3 major priorities.
Right now, if you look at, I'm a teacher in profession.
You teacher?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. The second thing is that we want the boys autonomous.
The boys what?
It's autonomous. Yeah, it's autonomous.
Go ahead.
And we look at some of the things we have to consider because we talk about autonomous, that means you have a lot of facility, a lot of things that you do in the borough. And if you are autonomous and you have other things to do, and if you look at the many young people graduated from college also in the district. Right now, the first thing we embarked was to have a reconciliation regional meeting of the communities.
So Tia, at what level were you teaching? Was it elementary, junior high, or senior high?
We're taking elementary divisions.
Oh, okay.
Elementary division. And we're credible. We are more accessible. And we're development oriented. So, hello? Robert B. Tier. Robert B. Tier is a librarian. After our graduation from the elementary school, we keep the money to attend the junior high school, the public junior high school. And from there, we went to Central High and we graduated 1998. I'm a teacher in professions.
For you to go sleep on the web post.
Yeah. He said I'm a join.
Why did Jesus make that remark? Because he knew there would be criminal in the world. Look, if I go to steal chicken today, your poor hanger on me. So I really mean banger.
Are you making this statement to get the vote of the young people who these days are called Zogos and Zogos? Or to
You think a day in Bagan before you were born, you feel discouraged. We were the one that stealing chicken here. But today I can't do it. I want to be honest with you people. I don't want to tell you people a fairy tale story that you'll go home and do something. I'm being honest with you people.
You said during the youthful days in Bong, you were one person who used to steal chicken.
I'm proud of that too.
And today coming back to tell the Liberian people that you want to have an elected position or occupy an elected position, don't you think someone may refer to you as an old criminal?
And I mean, one of me, I will take it. I did it at that time, so I cannot dodge. But what I'm telling you is this: I have been refound, not only by myself, but by God alone.
For being refined, don't you think it will still follow you? This is a political era. Like you can
Let me
remember.
tell you something. If you want want me to lie to the people of this country, then I will not do it. I'm telling you factual story about me. You didn't force me to tell you. I'm telling you something about me. I want the Liberian people to listen to it and be able to vote for me. Look, Jesus Christ himself said, only the criminal will be able to preach the Bible and understand it better. Okay? Why do you think Jesus made that remark? Because he knew there would be criminal in the world. Look, if I go to steal chicken today, you'll put hanger on me and parade me in Baga.
Are you making this statement to get the vote of the young people who these days are called Zogos and Zogis?
Or to maybe seek forgiveness?
Let me tell you, I'm making this statement to identify myself and where I come from, the struggle I went through, so you can build your life from there at younger generation and know there is hope in the future.
I stole an with 2 phones and said that US were in the weather. It's true, I take it. The reason I took the item from the EPS, man, like, oh, man, to send me on the operation to do it. My friend, boyfriend, nobody arrest me. When I took the EPS, man, phone was in suspect for in the hotel. Oh, man, to a girlfriend already waiting for me was that child a weapon laying in here. I get a weapon too. And the truth I'm telling you, I say 17. I never read police charge, the officer chairs, and he only bring one paper, and the paper they put a child, they may call him lawyer, he get a paper to his lawyer. The reason I came across the EPA car, I never know the EPA car in my whole life. That they see me encourage me on the EPA car. I was sitting to him to a place. He tell me say the EPA car say he like me. So he will put me on the operation. Anything I want to make, I should take it a minute I want to make money or after. So that child when I took the man, I get a con to him. And I let my friend make me to know the boyfriend and the boyfriend make me to know the EPA man. That you are I get connected to the people. They won't say me. Get a con to one in friend. It's a motorbike cycle. But he know the place, he know the ball. When the officer said ask me to the police station there, lawyer was there. Then he tell the lawyer say he know the ball are in front, the ball can't eat on to back. So that child and the lawyer put gas in the car. He know the man, but after the man come to the station, I never do that in my own name. I tell it and I regret it. It's just a mistake. And before they can bring her here, when we went to the police station, I was even begging him. I said, oh man, to the tina go fire. We can talk to school, the place la for air, we go retrieve the main gun. And the EPA man, what would tell the art to let it? I don't know the EPA man person or the Unelate, what would tell that connection? I know him. That you will make to, I know the EPS man. And he said the EPA man, I in front of he can go into our face and in front of all of them. And I see there, he even get me in the fence to go walk around. China to the president area away. Get me on my first time to enter in the fence, carry me there, and not my one. Me and girlfriend carry there. My parents in Kakatan for us, my mother passed away. And my father now have here. When you live in Pakopi, our now with my parents when they eat they have our in Ghana. That Ghana they go arrest, but when they think have the person will arrest me, they EPA man, there's friends to own us. For me, I never knew say they make friends with people on us. So that you Facebook, that they get me. So I escape. I go by road. So I can always go by road. I'll come in. I see me transfer me to come back. The reason I decided to escape is my friend boyfriend what they call. But you are not one for Elan blow. But if Elan blow, if I in la bro, I will call him. He was not the one who pay my work. But you are thinking like to say this Tunga will never see me or they come, nobody will come to see me. And I tell how I was thinking that the way I escape I go on outside like I'll never come in to be fun.
Evil a man does live after him. Sometimes you find yourself doing things with the belief that you will never get caught. But
But in this life, whatever you do, you must leave space for tomorrow. So that at least you cannot be questioned. Even if you are being questioned, it should not be for the negative reasons. Good morning, folks. 18 days to October 10. Oh, yeah. I said 18 days to October 10. We counting 2 Tuesdays. The third, we are going to the polls to elect. Oh, yeah. 73 representatives from 73 districts across Liberia. 15 senators from 15 counties across Liberia. 1 president. And of course, here's our deputy, who is the vice president. But as you are preparing to go to that process, we will always sit here by virtue of the platform that we've got and our call to duty as a journalist. We will always sit here to enlighten the minds of you, the electorates, so that when you go over there, you already know what to do based on the informed decision that you have been provided with through this media. Having said that, good morning. Welcome to the weekend's edition of the Freedom Morning Ras, right here on Freedom 87.9. And of course, the name is Hagar Gonda today. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be seated right here along and bringing you this edition of the program. Please invite someone to listen along if you are following us via our live Facebook feed. All you can do for us is share so that the information can cut across. Yeah. The composition of today's edition of the program, studio chat up until 8:15. You pick your calls to get your participation on some of the things that we will be discussing here. Following that, we will be hosting the We Are All Star, and Joseph Huff from that organization is going to be here. With us. Sorry, he will be here up to 9 o'clock, 9:15. We acknowledge our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia. Thanks to Omen Sam Sion and his team. That Crime Stoppers, Benny, I nearly got beaten this gun time only because I wanted to prevent crime. But whatever it was, yeah, gratefully we succeeded in preventing crimes. 9:15, we play host to Nimba County District 9 representative and the House's committee chair on claims that is rules, order, and administration. Honorable Johnson Gwegwe is going to sit here with us from 9:15 straight up to 10 o'clock. Hey, we turn our back to this microphone and call it a deal onto this edition of the program. So wheresoever you are, by whatever means you're listening, please invite someone to listen along and share the live if you are following us via our live Facebook feed. We're taking a break. Acknowledge our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia. We'll come back. We begin with our studio discussion here this morning.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. But it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, If you see a you motake, and I mean you cheche, do it for your safety. If you see a don't keep it, you must part to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Oh yes. Crime Stoppers Liberia contributing immensely to promoting a non-violent society, and that's why we always sit here and say thanks to the Chief Executive Officer, Omesem Sion, and of course the entire team for always helping to fight crimes across the country. Yeah, too many persons, because of the efforts of Crime Stoppers Liberia, they will always sit and say yes, because we have heard that mob violence is not good. From Crime Stoppers, we have heard that we should not take laws in our own hands. We will accept and ensure that at least we can carry this person to the law, so that at least the law can take its course. So we're grateful to Crime Stoppers Liberia, and that's why we are proud to be associated with them right here on the Freedom Morning Rise. Having said that, too many things happening, too many things, especially in our country, Liberia, too many things happening. And it's always good that we sit here and at least be able to checkmate some of those happenings, bring them under spotlight for public scrutiny, and look at the decisions or actions of individuals to maybe undermine the peace and security of our country. So some of these things are important. Just late on last night, we read a press release from the Press Union of Liberia, expressing concern over threats against journalist Julius Jer of OKFM, and that is something that has caught our attention, coupled with the statement of threat coming from some hierarchies of the Unity Party. And all of these things, we believe that we should bring them to public scrutiny, so that you, the public, can look at their action, justify for yourself as to whether or not their actions are in the interest of you, the commoners, or we, the commoners, or we in general as Liberians. So the press statement from the Press Union of Liberia is basically about threats on the life of journalist Julius Jer of OKFM, because the threats, according to the release, started all up because of a broadcast that Julius did to unearth some hidden information from the Unity Party, especially with regards to the travel of the standard bearer, Honorable Joseph Boakai, to Ghana, where they say he was going to do this, he was going to solicit support for campaign, and that is in contravention of the Constitution of this republic. especially when we talk about public, maybe soliciting or a candidate soliciting funds or support from outside of all of these things. I may not be exact to quote the part of the Constitution or maybe quote it verbatim, but all of these things I being talked about, and following the investigation done by Julius, the press union, according to the release, said too many threats is being sent out there to the journalist Julius we're talking about. And we as individuals, we believe that this should not be happening, especially in a country that we live, where our president has prioritized free speech. And again, for me, I told someone, I say I'm not surprised when such a thing is happening, because these are people who have said when they are sent to power, the Ministry of Information will be closed down because they don't even want to hear about that thing called free speech. So by the closure of the Ministry of Information, that will be setting the basis for or some of their actions against free speech in this country. That will be that will be the beginning of the worst thing that we will see in this country. When you speak out, you will be targeted. When you speak out, you could be eliminated tomorrow. So this, I think, that is how they are setting the basis for the troubling times. And all of these things, you will not hear any of the top officials of the Unity Party saying anything into this. There are other political parties, opposition political parties in this country that are not being talked about negatively in the public there, because the way they have composed themselves, their supporters have composed themselves, and the leaders of those parties have been able to talk to citizens or their supporters to do away with violence, to do away with hate speech, to do away with messages that will undermine the peace and security of this country. But unlike those, we have not heard anything from the Unity Party, but they will sit, all of their supporters, or their supporters will always sit and go and insult people. Their supporters will always go and make statements against the lives of individuals because of information. And all of these things, when they said they do things, they expect that it will not come to light. We saw Senator Dillon when he traveled the other day and lied to the public. After investigation was conducted by the Front Page Africa and that information was uncovered, he came and publicly said, oh, he shamed his mother and all of these things. So they will sit intentionally and lie, but with the notion and perception that you Liberians out there are not inclined enough to investigate and know the truth. So they intend to buy your sympathy with lies. So like-minded journalists who will want to do investigation and uncover those things and bring it to public glare, when they see you as threat to them. When they see you, they will not consider that you're working in the interest of what you are called to do. You are working in the interest of your country. You are serving national, you are serving the country. You are serving humanity. They will not consider all of these things, but instead they will want to go after your life because they know that their quest to gain sympathy by lies is being threatened by your action. And it's just good that some of those international missions across here or around our country here can consider and look at all of these things. The threat on the lives of our journalists in this country, not just Julius J, but even as far as Nimba. I'm getting report from Christopher Fine in Nimba County that his own life is also being threatened or has also been threatened. And also Joseph Solo from Radio Nimba in Sanikule has also confirmed that his life has also been threatened. Why is it happening? And all of those things are being done by supporters of the Unity Party. It's been done by hierarchies of the Unity Party. Why are all of those things happening? You know, this election should be engaged with what you have done, what you intend to do, and let the public judge from what you have done. Some of you have served in government, like the Unity Party standard bearer, and some of those his hierarchies around, they serve in government. They never positively utilized the opportunities that were given them, forgetting to know that today would have come. They serve as if there will be no tomorrow, and the tomorrow that they never expected has come. It is the today, and they have got nothing absolutely to say now to the public, but instead they will want to lie to people, and they will now want to be investigated. They will now want the lies to be uncovered. This is the Unity Party. This is the Unity Party that is now whining and dining with Senator Johnson, and so because of that, everything that Senator Johnson does or everything that he says is in line with their plans and actions. The Unity Party, I can say for a fact, in the 2017 election, the Unity Party in other elections prior to the 2017 elections, the Unity Party was not as arrogant as it is currently, but because of some individuals like Senator Johnson who have joined the Unity Party, who have pledged support and is whining and dining with the Unity Party, so they believe that because the name Senator Johnson represents arrogance, the name Senator Johnson represents assassination, the name Senator Johnson represents torture, the name Senator Johnson represents killing. So because of all of those things, they know now they got a gorilla. They know now they got an individual who is not afraid of killing, who is not afraid of eliminating officials. So because of that, they go all around now doing things and saying things against people and hoping on him to rescue them. The senator will come out publicly and lie to people. He will come out publicly and make some reckless information, reckless statements. He will come up publicly and give misinformation and disinformation to the public. But behind the scene, he will take form. The very Nima County he claimed that he got control over, the very Nima County that he claimed that he has served for 18 years, he will take form and start begging officials, local officials in the county, begging them, threatening them to get their votes or to get their support. This is Senator Johnson for us. And the last time I sat here, I said, I'm not surprised at some of his actions. So Senator Johnson, from time immemorial, he has been one of the inconsistent political figures in this country. Yes, he has, and he is. Because out of his actions, this is the very Senator Johnson that before the 2020 senatorial elections across the 15 counties, Senator Johnson sat and said all of the things that he had to say about the current vice presidential candidate on the Unity Party ticket and a senator of Nimba, but then he was a representative. He said Jeremiah Kuhn, who was the co-chair on Ways, Means, and Finance, but then he was corrupt. He was there when ministries and agencies come to justify their budget or defend their budget. He will solicit money from all of those agencies and institutions of government and divert them to his personal cover. He said all of those things. He sat and termed Senator Kuhn as a greedy individual, but then when he was representative, he described Senator Kuhn as a greedy individual because he was elected as representative of Nimba District 1, and he did not complete his term, but he wanted by then to go for the senatorial position. So he said Senator Johnson is, then Representative Kuhn was a greedy individual. And all of these things are the truth that he will always say, but because of his inconsistency, some of you out there, you'll find it difficult to believe in. But these are some of the fights that he's been able to put out in the public. Senator Johnson is going against CDC government now, or President George Weah now, because his own personal and selfish interest was not met by the president or was not met by the government. There are documents there are documents and communications that came from the level of the Senate, that came from the level of the House of Representatives, that they claim are not in the interest of this country. Senator Johnson have served for 12 years. And when they said, when the Unity Party government, when partners said there were several bogus agreements that were signed during the Unity Party government, Senator Johnson is one of those whose signature are on those documents. So why would Senator Johnson come out now? Why he got to say about maybe the CDC is not doing this? The CDC is not doing this, but Senator, your own county, Nimba, is benefiting from road construction. Our county, Nimba, is benefiting from road construction. I am a son of Nimba. My mother is from District 9, from a town called Blamen in District 9. My father is from Lao Zao in District 8, Nimba County. I am a typical Nimbayans, but the notion and belief that we Nimbayans should ascend to the presidency because that's a true Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party, I don't see it necessary. I'm one of those who strongly against that. They believe that former Vice President Joseph Boakai is old, and so Nimbayans should support the Unity Party and Senator Koon, that when the Unity Party, God forbid, ascend to power, now after a few years, maybe we expect that, God forbid, maybe we are not praying for his death, but after a few years when Ambassador Boakai died, then Koon will ascend to the presidency. And now Nimba will have the faith. Nimba will say we've produced a president. Is that how we should produce a president? If we Nimbayans claim that we want to produce president, we got Tiawon Gongo, who is in the race. We got others who are in the race. Jeremiah Wapo, who is in the race. Why can't we support any of them? Since indeed Senator Johnson is saying that it's the opportunity for Nimbayans to produce a president. Why can't we support any of those individuals? Since we want to, we have the power, we have the votes to produce president. We are populated, we are vote-rich county. Why can't we elevate some of our own songs? But instead, we should support a person who has desperately failed the country over the years. We should support him with the belief that when he is sent to power, he's not strong enough to do some of those work. He's not strong enough to run this country. And so Senator Koon will be running the country now as vice president. And now it will be the time for Nimbayans to produce president. Is that how we should produce president? The election of the Unity Party, I can tell anybody clearly, would be the election of the Unity Party will send a signal of a looming crisis in this country if care is not taken. And that is why we as Liberians, we as Nimbayans, especially the younger generation, should be very careful on how we take decisions in the upcoming election. We should be very, very careful. This is the Senator Johnson that by virtue of his decision to kill the former president Samuel Doe, his action brought conflict between Nimbayans and Grenadians, and now he's bringing it to Lofa. He has started to pray for the death of a prominent son of that county, only because he believed that he want Nimba to produce a president. But if God forbid, Liberians decide to elect Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party, the Unity Party and officials of the Unity Party know fully well that Joseph Boakai is not strong enough to run this country. They know, even the Joseph Boakai, Ambassador Boakai said he knows fully well that he's not strong enough to run this country. But only because of self-greed, people are pushing him and believe that they can use him as a medium to ascend to power. So they are pushing him and believing that he can become president for this country. And so if that decision is taken and the Unity Party is elected, and God forbid Joseph Boakai die tomorrow in power, the notion and belief from Nimbayans, that's the notion and belief from Liberians and Lofians in particular, will be that it is Nimbayans that killed their son only because they wanted to ascend to power. they will believe that it is Nimbayans through Senator Johnson and Jeremiah Kun that killed Ambassador Boakai only because Nimba wants to produce a president. And that, by virtue of that action, it will serve as bad legacy for we, the younger generation, in case we want to take any elected position in this country, but like maybe the vice presidency or maybe presidency in this country. Because tomorrow, if God forbid that decision is taken and that action occur, and when I'm able, maybe I want to become, for example, a president tomorrow or vice president, and I leave from my county, Nimba, to go to Lofa County to go and campaign, the first line of thinking that will come in the minds of Lofian will be, these are the people who killed our son because they wanted to produce president. So it will now serve as a dark cloud over my quest to transform my country because of Senator Johnson, who is currently living his life, who has lived his life. Because of that, his action will serve as negative or dark cloud that will sit over my quest. So, especially for us, the younger generation, Nimbayans, if we want to take decision, if we are going to the polls on October 10th to take decisions, these are things that should be running to our mind. All of those people you see pushing Jeremiah Kun, pushing Ambassador Boakai or maybe Senator Johnson, are people who have already lived their lives. Are people that even if they are voted out today, through the monies they've been able to acquire from government, they are able to live their life without even struggle, depending on how they utilize those cash. But what will become of some of us who have not even earned a cent for ourselves? What will become of us who have not even serving any position, elected position in this country? What will be the recommendation tomorrow? Are we voting to ensure that our quest tomorrow is questioned because of the action of Senator Johnson and maybe Senator Kun? Is that why we are going to the polls? Is that why we want to vote? Or we are going to vote? Let us not vote on those issues. Let us not vote because we want to use Nimba or want to use Lofa, want to use Ambassador Boakai for Nimba to produce president. The old man is old, he's not able to move. And so when the United Party is elected, it will not be Kuna will be running the country, it will be Kuna will be running the country. Let us not vote based on that. Let us not vote. If Senator Johnson, like I said, if he really claims that he's in the interest of the Nimbayans, why can't we elevate any of our songs? Councillor Gonglo is there. He's trying his best. Jeremiah Wapo is there. He contested 2017. Why can't we support any of those? But only to use the Unity Party to say we can ascend to power. There are other young and energetic or individuals, 19 others beside the CDC. 19 others are young and energetic officials. Why can or individuals who are contesting? Why can't we support any of them? With the hope that when they win, after that, Nimba can produce a president. But only we should go through the Unity Party, Joseph Boakai. Why? He said that there is something on our sleeve as Nimbayans, or something on our sleeve, or something on Senator Johnson's sleeve. Maybe Senator Kun's sleeve, that when this won't happen, we can do this, and maybe this is how we get this. And that's the thing about it. One thing you should know as you go into vote on October 10 is that the Constitution of this country says that I will not be exact to quote the section or chapter, but the Constitution of this country says, when God forbid, if the president dies in office, the vice president will ascend to the position of the presidency, and the vice president, with the consent of the legislature, will appoint who should serve as his vice president. Are we taking into consideration those things? Do we care to know if, God forbid, that happens, the quest of Senator Kun and Senator Johnson is actual last, who they will appoint, who Senator Kun will appoint, God forbid, who he will appoint to serve as vice president for this country? Are we taking into consideration those things? Like I said, if we go to the polls and vote because Nimbayans, we want to produce president and we believe that we can use the Unity Party to produce president, we'll not be doing well for ourselves, especially the younger generation. We'll not be doing well for our entire country. How and why? Because if, God forbid, the Unity Party is elected, and God forbid, Joseph Boakai die in office, Lothian will say that Nimbayans killed their son because they want to produce president. And that could start tribal conflict. And if care is not taken, that could lead to civil war in this country. We are not praying for that. And that is why we should not use the October 10 election to go for that. Somebody say, why should we vote President George Weah? Why should we give him second term? The records are there and they are glaring. Even the Senator Kuhn, the Senator Johnson, they know within themselves that this president has done well for this country. He has tried his best, got elected 2017, inaugurated January 22nd, 2018. Coronavirus took over the war February 2019 and ran up to 2021. But the government did not use that. They never capitalized on that to say they are not doing what they're supposed to do. We're talking about the coronavirus that came 2019, February, the beginning of 2019, and ran up to 2021. But Ebola virus came here. It never even went for more than 6 to 8 months. But it was used as reasons for which many things were even done in this country. Ebola virus came here. It was only in certain parts of Africa and maybe highly hit countries like Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Donor fundings were coming from international partners because they weren't affected, but they tried to prevent that. And by their efforts, they sent money to this country that could have been used for other purpose, other things. But those money, in the words of the former vice president, were squandered. Those opportunities were squandered. And they still use that as reason why they did not do some things that should have been done. But the CDC government, in the wake of the nearly 2 years of a pandemic across the world, they did what they could do. The president constructed the Invisible Sports Park. The president commenced the road from Banga to Lofa. The president constructed the 14th Military Hospital. The president constructed the Emirate Hospital. The president ensured that there is free WAS fees for our younger friends. Some of us who were in school paid close to 80 or more, 80 United States dollars for WAEC. But now, parents are not thinking on that. It's not part of their plan when they are planning for school. But before, our parents used to plan for them. Public universities across this country are free. These are things that were done, few things that were done. These are few of the many things that were done under the CDC government, for which we believe that this president should be given a second chance. If somebody said, when you are ill and you purchase maybe tablet to take, you don't take that tablet one time and expect that you will get well because you've taken it one time. But you have to be consistent and persistent in taking that drug until you are well and fully well. So President Weah has come, he has made efforts, and the only way that many of what he intends to do for this country can be actualized is when we give him second term mandate. Let's give him second chance, as he will always say. Others have 12 years. Let's give him the second chance that he go for 12 years. And after his 12 years, we can compare and contrast the Unity Party government and the CDC government under President George Weah. These are things that we think should be done. And if you engage in campaign activities, engage in being saver, engage with fights, engage with evidence, engage individuals or electorates with what you have done through the time that was given you to serve in position, what you did for the people, what you've done, and what you intend to do. Threatening the lives of journalists across this country, not to be threatening the life of peaceful citizens who are doing their work. Absolutely no one is more Liberian than our friend. Absolutely no one of us. We are all Liberians. Some of you were there, the position you serve today, you never ever thought that you're going to serve in that position. So that is it. So I will stop here and try to pick calls this morning on 0776 104 104 0776 104 104 or 86 500 104. If you are there following us in the diaspora, you can use +231 86 500 104 and be part of today's edition of the program, the Freedom Morning Rise. I'm told the guys from the We Are All Star are already here. So following the call in segment, we will see whether we can connect with them. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, ma. Your name and from where you join us?
Yeah, this is Mr. Sogari calling from VRS.
Go ahead, Rosetta.
Let me appreciate you this morning. Yeah, thank you to the friend from me. Like, you put it anywhere. But I told you, I really touched my heart, and you know, I can't share. There are issues, first of all, very worried that people that are expecting in the community that we live. And that's happening to the person we know. I follow everything. So, I know how we're going to be protected. Because when they also now move at the end of what he's doing, and the boss will say they should go to the police depot. So what they got is they took up this area here. They got the married people coming into the country. And you're giving us that something that they call all calling me on the show. Thank you for me to stand this morning.
Thank you. Let's speak this one. Morning.
Yeah, morning. Yeah. I'm after your GDR. I'm calling from Very Major Community. Okay, thank you very much this morning, brother. Yeah. This kind of information, really, very key. See, I'm from Nima, okay? And, Prince Johnson just continue to embarrass us as the dying. Since the war, after the war, we have left the area called Tuma, and stigma. We from Nima, especially, because the thing that happened during the war, brother, the stigma that most of all in Monrovia and all parts of Nigeria, people will not want to see Nima, man, even resting in your heart. But you understand? So now we pass that stage. So now Prince Johnson want to be an embarrassment. He's starting to be an embarrassment for us from Nima. So that tomorrow comes for play. That is local people now will say, oh, don't kill our son only because now they're not even thinking about that. They only want this man to come to power. That's thinking that the man will come to power. But what happened in the aftermath? We will be embarrassed again. Seriously, we from Nima will be embarrassed again. So, we got Jawan Bongo, we got my Wapo, all the guys in the ring. So the Prince Johnson really want us to produce president. We're rallying around the people, but it will not be to use somehow as a donkey to get to power. That listeners, still listeners. So the people say, that's exactly what you are seeing. The people in Lopana, and they will look at people in him, and then we'll go back to the same thing that we violated from. And say, they may love my one brother. The
Thank you. Let's pick this one. Morning. Good morning. Go ahead. Your line is coming somehow. But go ahead.
Yeah, I saw the thing on the Prince Johnson saying. Prince Johnson navigate to the Maland, even when they come in and someone is born out, let me get that. Then you bring in new one for we will love me and I want to let that. I'm gonna get up on blowing Mama from to put on there. So all of brother you bring in, it will be only say you about my children, my papa for your boy you me. That is the man put this out for what I if now it is about a football president here. Now I know the one now World War II, without World War III. What I want to repair.
Thank you. Let's pick this one. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Chief. Go ahead, Levi.
Yeah, but thank you for talking on the discussion. My attention has been doing about the arm issue. Because last time I listened to different reference on arm.
Yeah.
Single by one from local county. And then Prince Johnson is looking at the owner saying that there's a farming tools that is on ground. And you know, if you use your medicine, that they repair our mind to arm, but farming tools. What a fun you making as a senator in Yema County? What a fun you get there. And there was whole election. I don't realize what the justice minister is doing. Because the country has been threatened by this guy, and the justice minister just said that view will not see anything. Give me the full 3 days. Only our life as rape. You see that? To be very much, thank you for talking on discussion, but it is not fair.
Thank you.
Hey, justice minister, wake up.
Thank you. Let's pick this one. Morning. No, I can't. No. I can't do that. I can't take that. Morning. Okay. Yeah, you can't be doing my ear that ain't on me. No, not possible. Let's pick this one. Morning.
Yeah.
Walk away from the monitor, please.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. You know, Liberia is our home, and we are very proud.
Your name, and from where you join us, Chief.
I'm Roger McCarthy. Roger McCarthy. I just called to say that we have to be very careful how we speak on radio. The issue here is that the whole war will pass away in Liberia with me. Some of us that are even on radio and even calling on radio, we were not here when this country was formed. But sometimes when there is an opportunity that you have, you want to use that opportunity the same day. Life is very short, but we can make life long for our very self.
Hello. Okay. Hello. Morning.
Yeah, how you doing, Papa?
I'm good. Go ahead, man. Your name and from where you join us.
Papa, I just want to say, this is what we get nowhere to go. I would go my ear. I saw everything that went on. My people died for it. Went to look for food in Broadway. When Prince Johnson people open a pregnant woman's stomach and jump the pregnant woman in the water in fall zone or putting can. So I ask you, what are the international community they not know about it? I want for our government. I want for our government to write the international community for them to do. I want for them to JEA. Let them write it. Let them write them. I don't want for them to just say, oh, we hear me say Prince Johnson say this and that. Liberia must play her part. The government must play her part. And send message. And say, this is what Prince Johnson saying about the country. I want you to check me on where we get to go. And when the man guy is writing here and say you're talking, already talking, that Prince Johnson looking. We know him. When he say they want, he can't do it. He can't do it. So, I really want for Prince Johnson saying anything. What is Musa doing? Musa didn't doing now. What is Musa didn't doing? That what the people can say is for opposition. When you hear the person saying anything, then you're the big person for the country, you're supposed to get into it.
Thank you, man. Let's pick this other call and maybe try to call you here. Morning. Morning, Chief. Your name and from where you join us?
I'm Prince Kamara calling from the Joseph.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, wow. Let's pick this one. Sorry, Prince. Sorry. Yeah, so yeah, you can usher in the guest. Morning. Morning. Go ahead, boss.
My name is Alvin Dada and I call from the U.S. Rock.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Let me appreciate the money for the talking point, and also let me appreciate Almighty God for pumping breath into us, our boss to be here.
Yeah.
My brother, let me say this, Prince Johnson, in fact. The Vision 2030 has been talking about President Weah will be the one to meet us with our Vision 2030. So I don't care what it is, what it is to President Weah will meet us with our Vision 2030. Because so many presidents have been talking about Vision 2030, and President Weah is the one who comes to meet us with the Vision 2030. So they are putting in the file for we are viewers. They are opening our eyeballs down here around President Weah, so we can meet us with the Vision 2030. They want President Weah to be the one to see that vision, or to meet that vision 2030. And they want to bring scare parties. That scare parties will never ever hold.
Thank you. Thank you. We can leave it at that. And another sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia here. We'll come back. We cross over to the team from We Are All Star. They are already here. We got with us Joseph Hoff. He's here. So yeah, I know. I'm gonna get somebody said, let me get it. Person, go ahead. Morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Morning, Chief. Your name from where you join us?
My name is Kim Joy. I'm joining you guys on Maluga Liberia NTA community. Church, on topic on the discussion, what I want to say is that Prince Johnson, I just forgot about Prince Johnson on a statement, because Prince Johnson that been a rebel talk, man, that talking over there. Prince Johnson get you nothing in the 100% of a war. And you get me? Yeah, Prince Johnson is not in the 100% of a war. Well, which nobody here for him. We are waiting, we standing back for him. That Prince Johnson told about way back talking.
Thank you. We won't go that way. We're not waiting for him there. We don't even want it. So let's go. Crime Stoppers Liberia.
It's about music. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand, call the right authority. Tell it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must target. I mean you cheche. You wait for your safety. If you see don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Oh yeah, Crime Stoppers Liberia is proud to be associated with Freedom Morning Rise right here on Freedom 87.9. So we got with us Joseph Hoff. He's from the We Are All Star, and my technical man here is saying the man is called the President's Referee. Good morning, Mr. Hoff. Welcome to Freedom Morning Rise.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you.
How is everything going with you?
Well, things are good. We've been in this process, and we see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and so things are good.
So we are all star. Some listening to you, probably just hearing about it, will want to know what it's about. What brought the group together?
Well, this group was funded by the president, His Excellency President George Manneh Weah, in 2005. He played football, and his colleagues were all around. He brought them together to help him in the campaign. And since 2005, this group has been together with the president.
Is it only about those who played football or wants to believe in the ideology of the president, or maybe you are a friend to the president and you can kick lamb, you can maybe join the team?
Yeah, it's not just about football. There are guys with us who didn't play along with the president, but they are with the We Are All Stars. But the group is predominantly football players. I didn't play football, but I'm a member of We Are All Stars.
So we are here now. They want to see what matter politics we are now in this country. You know, you are aware we get 18 days to the election in this country. Anything in the pipeline from the We Are All Stars, or maybe any activities pending?
The We Are All Stars has been, as I said, with the president from 2005, 2017 up to now. It is just unfortunate that due to pressing times, the president is not engaged in sports during the tour, but the We Are All Stars also have her representatives on the tour with the president who are engaging residents of those communities that they meet to tell them why they should vote for the president. And so we are engaged in said process, and we will remain engaged until the president is re-elected.
So is it only that the team is behind the president, or probably we got other teams, other members of the team in rural communities who are there to encourage citizens to say, hey, vote for President Weah?
Sure. We got other members in the communities who are engaged in some communities services who are promoting the president, ensuring that the president is re-elected.
The president legacy is one thing. There are people who believe in the president, whatever it is. But individuals who are representing him at various institutions or maybe some organizations, some will see the problem. In terms of reaching out to the people, you guys who are in the front line of the organization now, what has been the level of contribution? Not just you as individual, but maybe the team in general. Say maybe here we go in this community, we do this as a mark for the organization to tell the people that the We Are All Star is here and the We Are All Star did this. Have you been able to do something?
Yeah, holistically, just during the coronavirus, the We Are All Stars was involved hugely. We assisted the president in taking some things around for the coronavirus. We visited orphanages. We visited hospitals. We visited some counties. We took things around. And that's what we've been doing. That's what we are doing.
How many persons are part of this member group?
We have over 50 members. Okay. Like I said, predominantly, most of them are football players. And we are working.
Any pending activity for the organization? Maybe?
All activities remain the same. Okay. Campaign for the president. However, we will do it. The message is just to have the president re-elected. We are engaging, the people got this Jehovah's Witness campaign stuff. That is what we are engaging right now. We are also engaged in sporting activities, like we will be engaging Honorable Dixon Sibo to have us included in his launch whenever he gets ready. We are going to talk to the Senator Sir Joseph to include us in his activities, because we don't want to just sit idly and allow people work for us. As we are All Stars. We will be in the forefront as we are, and we are not going to allow people to do our work, because this president has been and is good to us. We know what he has been doing, what he's doing, and we are going to make sure, rain, sun, night, day, to ensure that the president is re-elected.
There are some who are friends to the president, or were friends to the president, but because maybe of personal interest or personal greed, they had to leave. Uh, you guys are there. You guys have been there. Continue to be there. What level of what if I were to ask you, looking at the level of leadership over the years by His Excellency, how do you consider it a vote of sentiment, sincerity? How do you consider it? And if you are asked today to name some of those reasons why you think the president should be re-elected, what are those things?
The president is a unifier.
Okay.
If he wasn't going to organize this group. You know, the people have their own way of their narration. The president played football in Liberia. People said the president was divisive on the national team. But if it was so, he wouldn't have brought these guys together. So this is a sign that the president is a unifier. And his doors are open. Those who spoke negatively against him in time past are now on board. He welcomed them. It's a sign that he's a unifier. He's ready to unite this country, regardless of the fact that you were against him some time ago. Liberia is Liberia. Liberians are Liberians. Our common denominator is Liberia, and nowhere else you can send a Liberian. And the president knows that. That's why his doors are open. And everyone who some way, somehow offended him or went against him because of political reasons, his doors are open, and he brought everybody back. Even those right now who are against him, his doors are open. He's willing and prepared to welcome them.
And so now that we're pushing towards the October elections, you guys are aware, and you've been there in the vanguard, behind the scene. What you listen to people, you have to put on silence. You listen to the people in rural communities. From the message you've been able to reach out to them, what is the reception like for them? Because saying the thing is saying support the president is one thing, but when you preach out the message, it's like a pastor who's pastoring a church. You preach the message, stop adultery, or all of his maybe members are not even pushing towards anything, or stopping fornication or other things. So you've been there preaching the message. Do you think the message is resonating?
Yes, it is resonating.
Okay.
You know, the name Joshua is a household name. From the football field, those activities, he served as goodwill ambassador. He served as peace ambassador for this country. The name is a household name. And as a celebrity, you know, as all others know, a celebrity, whenever the name of a celebrity is pronounced somewhere, people are moved. So when we go around preaching the message of Joshua, people open their arms, they wholeheartedly welcome us. And we think the message is resonating with the people. And that's why we are 100% optimistic that Joshua will be re-elected.
So, are there plans to maybe host community tournaments? If not even all of the communities, but at least in one community, man, we can go there, say this is from the We Are All Star, where maybe you guys who can play football, your startup tournament and other community residents, so that they can feel a part of being, let's say, being with the president. Because there are some, like my community, I can say 4 or 5 people are not reaching out to them, though there are people there who support the president. But in terms of feeling the impact from any maybe auxiliary organization of the re-election of the president, it's not being felt.
We haven't done that as an organization to.
But are there plans?
Yet there are plans. Okay. But individually, like 2 weeks ago, we were in District 17, where we assisted with the tournament there, the district tournament, and it was successful. But as an organization, the We Are All Stars, a lot of our activities include the president. And you know what I mean when I say include the president. We can just carry the president anywhere. Yeah, even though as a group, when the We Are All Stars goes to play, People expect to see that the president is around and what have you. So most of our plannings are done in consultation with our CEO. But individually, as members of the organization, we take it upon ourselves to get involved in those community activities. Whether it is an experiment who organizes sporting activities in his community where we have our members residing, they get involved.
So what is it like if I want to get the team, for example, in my community, to just come and make the people feel part of their quest to make president? We are a two-term president. What is it like? What's the procedure that I can use to ensure that maybe the We Are All Star is represented?
We are an open group. All you need to do is just get one of our members who will relay your request. We are always willing. You don't have to pay us a dime. You don't have to pay us a dime. Just give us your time, the venue, and a little idea of your program. We'll avail ourselves. We are prepared. You call us tomorrow, we show up.
So the leadership of the group, I'm sure the president is the CEO, but in terms of others who are part of the group, and secondly, so maybe you can respond to that firstly. The hustle names in football in Liberia. We have the Joe Nangwe, who's the chairman of the group. In this group, we have the Kelvin Segwe, we have Oliver McCall, the George Gibro, the Jonas Sawe, the Vamakoto, and the rest of them. When it comes to the We Are 11, 99% of those guys are with the We Are All Stars. In fact, let me now say 100% are with the We Are All Stars. Recently, we saw our brother change his profile picture, Mr. James Deba. He changed his profile picture on Facebook. He now has the president's photo as his profile picture, which sends a signal that he's on board as someone who played football along with the president. So all of the guys are around. So unfortunately, we lost our co-chair, the late General Prince Stowe. He was next to Joe, but we have a structure. Presently, we have a committee that's responsible to steer the activities of the organization during these campaigns. It's headed by Thomas Kojo. So in case I want to be a part, do I have to be a football player first, or what are the requirements for being a part of the We Are All Stars? Because there are others who are listening to you. Maybe they play football, but not at the level some would think, but we just love the president and want to be a part of the organization.
Becoming a member of the We Are All Stars, I can sit on radio and tell you tomorrow we can include you. It's a process. And you could come around, play with us once or twice, but it has to do with football. You can't just jump from behind your microphone and go play football. You must have had an idea of the act. You must have had the act. Yeah. And so that's it. But we are open. Our doors are open. We are working. We are prepared to work, and we will continue to work.
Someone say you are feeling the impact of the president's leadership. Your child or children are not paying WAS fees. So because of personal interest, maybe because you got children in the university and you don't want to pay fees, so you want to continue on part of our president's legacy.
It's not just us, it's the country. The country is benefiting from his good leadership, his able leadership. Look, let me just go a little bit personal. Do you know what it means for the president of a country who interacted with your parents from the 70s, will look you to your face and say, Mama, your father helped me when I was playing football. He bought me boots. If he can remember, if such a man can remember the goodness, you think he's an ordinary person? He remembered. He told me to my face, say, look, your father in Bong Mines bought me boots. And so it motivates me. And I'm calling on all other persons. I'm calling on all other persons under the sound of my voice right now to rethink. If you have not had the second thought, it's time that you look back. Your children have gone to school. He's prepared to even keep on this free wax stuff for your students. He is prepared to extend the university, the free university stuff for you guys who are out there. He's prepared to do more. When we sit with him, all he talks about is Liberia. All he talks about is Liberia. He's prepared. He's been asking all of our members to prepare ourselves for future leadership. He's prepared to invest in the human resource capacity that he's doing, that he has been doing, and that he will continue to do.
Maybe we can go to the lines and pick calls now for our citizens and listeners' participation on 0776 104 104 86 500 104. If you are there in the diaspora, want to be a part of today's edition of the program, plus 231 86 500 104 is the number you can call us on to be a part of today's edition of the program. But here in Liberia, 86 500 104 or 077 6104 104. Let's begin with this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, boss. My name is from where you join us.
My name is Roman Mpofana. I'm from Mambagwe.
Can we go ahead?
You know, I listen my brother. Anything my brother said is true. I want to tell God thank you. All these men is their name. All of them play football that was just manner we had before. We know what they did. At the time the country was suffering. At the time the country was suffering, I remember when I grew up in Nigeria, very on our estate that day. Bamakoto. And then that's also very garden. I very appreciate them for coming on board to support the president in election. So I want to tell them thank you very much. I pray God help everyone about in this country. Nothing will not happen by the grace of God.
Okay, thank you. Let's speak on the tools. One of yeah. So let's speak. Okay, so maybe he will call by his Jibril. Okay, so he will call back because So while we are with his call, let's pick this one from Janji Jacobs. Good morning to you, Chief. Welcome. Yes. So sorry. Morning. Go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I actually thought to have joined the show via the telephone, but because I was kind of late, I should have been in the studio with her. But yesterday, my dear brother, thanks for giving us the platform. I just wanted to add a little to what my brother has been saying. President, we are an icon, and he represents our community. When I say our community, the sporting community, especially football. We are not ashamed to be associated with the campaigns of President George Manneh at this time. There are several reasons why. You will know that in every group or in every association, there is always first among equals. And we see President Weah as the arrowhead and the true representation of all of us who play football. And so when he's in this kind of situation that he has vowed to be a leader, he deserves the support of each and every one of us. That is why we join President Weah to always move with him when he's on this campaign trail. There are politicians who said that, and I will give you a classic example. One senator said that President Weah has done nothing for sports. The national team cannot win under President Weah's reign. And I thought that particular senator was clueless because he does not have an idea, he does not have the idea of what sports development is. President Weah is building parks around the country. And as young guys who played soccer before, we never had an opportunity. President Weah never had this opportunity. So those parks that are being built around the country is a breeding ground for footballers for tomorrow. So for this reason, and because we're talking football, I will just limit the conversation to that. For this reason, we have all the powers, all the reasons, and we are convinced that if President Weah should be given the second term, that senator who thought that President Weah should be building stadium, we believe that in President Weah's second term, Liberian footballers will improve they will break that yoke to expand their talent. Stadiums will be built throughout this country. Modern stadium will be built because President Weah is an architect of development and peace. And football is a game of unity and of peace. So these are some of the reasons why, since we're talking football, we support President Weah. And we think that we are gathering and we are urging all footballers, current and past footballers, to kindly join ranks with us to support this president and see to it that this president is re-elected. This president wants to meet with all footballers, but because of the tax on him, he is the president of Liberia and not the president for footballers.
Okay.
But he has the heart and the mind to meet, and his doors have always been open. Before I leave the land, let me say a very big thank you to my friend Jean Saleh-Sadiba for joining the We Are Stream. We salute him, and we know that he brings a lot of expertise and he brings a lot of supporters with him. And so we want to salute our colleague James Diba. Those who are still sitting on the fence, we say to you, dear brothers, we are in this together. We've been stereotyped before by people who thought that footballers were only grown-up people. But President, we have broke that boundary. Today, he is the president of Liberia. Don't stay there, brothers. Please join us and let us push the President Weah becomes re-elected come October 10, 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you so kindly.
Thank you, John J. Jacobs. Let's go from this end and pick this caller on the other line. Morning. Good morning. Okay. Let's pick this one. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Your name and where you join us?
Oh, my name is Ronnie. I call from District number 9.
No. I can't continue with this. No, you can't do me like that. What? You call, or before you call, walk away from the monitor. You can't be hearing me in the front and you want to hear me in the back. No, I can't do it. Yeah. So once you want to participate on the program, I'll just turn off the radio. Yeah, before calling. Let's pick this one. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Chief.
Yeah, sorry for the feedback. I was the one I just called.
Go ahead.
My name is Ronnie K. Call from District number 9.
Okay.
Yeah, also representing compatriots for we are serving as a co-chair. You know, it is a good idea to support the president of the Republic of Liberia to re-elect. This is now strange thing to the Liberian people. So they've been there, they've been fooling us that they could do better, but we gave them 12 years and they didn't do anything. George Weah was the one who sacrificed his life. He has his family. He left Europe and he came to brought peace to Liberia. Where was Joseph Boakai when George Weah left the football pitch and came and went to Godfrey for disarmament? Where was Elizabeth Johnson when George Weah left for Europe and he came to sacrifice his life? He has his family. He was not forced to do that. They were in America doing nothing. Okay? So such individual, if he left his family to come to Liberia and sacrifice his life, anything could happen to him. But because of the peace and he loved Liberia, this is why he came to Liberia. So every Liberian I have that tendency that George Weah did this, George Weah stole, they should erase that from their mind. We are resolved. The message is resonating all over the country, and we will campaign through the length and breadth of Liberia to make sure that our president go back. They should watch out for tomorrow. They will see the tenor that will speak to the airport, and that will show to the international community that George Weah will be re-elected. Thank you. I want to make a recommendation.
Go ahead, Chief.
Okay, I'm a tennis player of the Republic of Liberia who represented this country back then, but I understand that the counting lead, our tennis tournament had never been part of it. So I want the president and to my brother that in studio to please make the recommendation to the president. At least every year we can have a president tennis tournament. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your participation. 0776 104 104 886 50104 are the numbers. You can call us on this caller. Morning.
Yeah, good morning. Calling me Mohammed GD, calling from New Jersey, BC Mama.
Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, I want to congratulate the celebrity Labrosi celebrating star Chintiba. But yeah, for law, and push my way to the line. But then go reach out to this. Yeah, I just was a year saying place for being president. I was very much happy.
Wow. Yeah. Morning. No, I can't hold you. I pick you. Trust me, I can't hold you. No, you say I can't hold you. You can't treat me like that. Let's pick this one. Morning. Morning, Mike. Can you walk away from your monitor, please?
Yeah, good morning, man. It's Fatmata. Sherry, quality of second.
Go ahead, Fat.
Yeah, my brother incident, my friends, and my fellows, my uncle incident. I just want to say thank you for the bold step that you take. You know, some of y'all, we have sourcing here last and now. It's a time for you to pay him. And I encourage you. Although some of your friends are feeling bad, but you talk to some of your friends. There's no bad chance. I feel it to everyone with you. We have to end the party to you. Maybe doing a football game when you got any marriage in your mind for you. And I feel it to you. That bago be bago. But we got to our work. Jawia is working. Jawia get love for issue. Everyone. Jawia not doing. No pick and choose. It's about this. No pick and choose. And now he can say no pick and choose. He look at there. He got the phone and high. He got everybody. Jawia can say all people say what they who for money. So I'm calling everybody. No matter who you are. You're not there. I walk over. You're not come to our work. We don't matter. We don't politician. We don't fight for yourself. We don't selfish. They wouldn't care for their pocket. They wouldn't care for themselves. But we are open to everybody.
Thank you, Fatimata. Let's leave you at that, please. Thank you.
Politician, everyone.
Thank you. Morning. Go ahead. Your name and from where you join us from this WhatsApp line.
Good morning, hey guys. My name is Tony Bosu. I call from my LP Rotterdam resident this morning.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, I want to tell my professor, Mr. Joseph Hoff, thank you for reaching this day. Mr. Hoff is very, man who stand for integrity and stand for, tangible. And, everything, I believe that we are all start with people seeing the tangible of this government. His Excellency tangible. If I decide to name it's things that we are doing for us in this country, I will not really lie. I will be discussing. But the Liberian people are seeing the truth. We don't care about what Prince Johnson will say. We don't care about who will say. Whether we are all stars, Liberian people are seeing the need that president. We are re-election. It's a matter of must. So what are the election with the people result with our nickname? Ask any person say we can listen to our mama lad as I be on my feet. All my friends, my old students, my friends there will continue to carry president. We are President Wia is our heaven sent.
Thank you. Let me hear that heaven sent. Yeah, let's go. Pick this one. Morning.
Okay, good morning, my friend. How you doing?
Man, Sisi, morning. Oh.
Yeah, I just want my Sisi on the line.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, let me say thank you to my studio guests. People are saying it all, my brother. We are together. Now we will fight the battle. Even when they will kill us.
And I see you on the president trip. You are going to be looking for you. What happened against you?
No, I want to fight you. I came down with coke. So
go in my big coke, man. GB, that carry together.
I can't go GB. I don't know what I will do that.
I'll put it back on, no problem.
Okay. So I want to say my trumpet. We don't pick and choose. From our day up to this start, if you lose start the next day in morning or lose start to get people together in the country. But then we are seeing a set EU, I see my set in George Weah. We are down 20 people. But then we are saying let's come together. Let's work together as one. All of us here to be far. So they want to bring God to kill us. No one safe. If they will kill my brother, will stand for our country. Because before any civil walking here, we got the up and this and that, the other. Before we tell you, say, we want to make that, or we want to make this and that, who will tell the need? He not said Liberia, he said Niba. He's going to put Niba in Bafo. So let's say no to that Prince Johnson, the killer. Let's say no to that very rappers that we are. So big people up.
Thank you.
And my brother, somebody just called me and said, they are bottom Catholics, and no, and no one is saying to them. They called me, and I want to push it to the platform. We beg you, we need vote now. We're not joking. We need vote calling up, they get response to the people. They want to advocate to make their case in very for the party and you can't make nothing to very for people. So see quality. So it's wrong, this is vote. No place down here. You want to okay, I will not get that for that. We make our life, our people, our children, and want to make sure that everything be okay in this country.
Oma.
Marxism.
Blood.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Yeah, you listen to the chorus. Yeah, you can just wrap up now. So,
Well, to the fellow who talked about the tenants tournament, rest assured, we are going to take your request forward, and I'm sure that something will be done about it. Yeah, he's not just a football player. The president plays basketball, he plays volleyball, he plays ping pong.
I saw the man play for Lufa. I said, why you play? Why you not play for Lima?
So he's open. He's open. He wants to do a lot, but it's just that he also has to serve the country. Yeah, he wants to do a lot. So whether your request will be taken forward, we've discussed the We Are All Stars. If I have the time to delve into some other political issues, I will do. When it comes to this national team, I posted on Facebook concerning my president, and someone who served at the FA before countered what I posted, and even went to the extent of saying to me that the president never bought jersey for the national team. I was like, what? Jersey? So what's about all those plane tickets that he bought? What's about the flights that he chartered?
Even giving his personal house for
Yeah.
team to be hosted.
So why people would stoop so low to talk about just jersey, mere jersey, that you can get from Waterside for $150 US, instead of thinking about the bigger picture? But we talked that, and I think they understood. So we want to call on all Liberians, irrespective of your tribe, your religion.
Yeah, we have.
Joshua is the man of the time, and I think he can do better. He will do better.
Finally.
So finally, we want to call on all aspirants. Our doors are open. We read our numbers on the air. You can get in contact with us anytime you choose to get involved in your activities. You can call Chairman Joe Nangwe or the Secretary General Thomas Bokobe Waxing on 0775 609 435. I repeat, 0775 609 435, or you can call John J. Jacobs on 086 483 111, or you can call me 086 665 770, and we will put through your request, and your request will be given the consideration.
Thank you so very kindly for the impromptu visit this morning. I was called late last night by my boss, but I was somewhere sleeping badly.
Yeah, this is just the beginning of many talk shows. This is just the beginning of many talk shows.
We hope to also have you here.
We will be back here next week.
Full team, maybe
next
week.
So Thomas Kojo will be here, Kevin Stable will be here, Janji Jacobs will be here, Joe Nambu will be here next week.
Is it the team that Lanford is with?
Yeah, Lanford just joined us.
Okay, yeah, because Lanford.
Snotty Lanford just joined us.
I let him pace. I used to follow him for Mama Lodi Sundown and onward. Yeah. So thank you for being our guest here this morning. It was nice that we have you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The voice of is Joseph Hoff. He's a member of the We Are All Star. We've been here this morning talking about the organization and, of course, their plans towards the 2023 October 10 elections. 18 days from now, we're talking about election. And up next, our next guest will be Nimba County District 9 Representative Professor Johnson Gweklo. Yeah, the papa is already here. So let's take this break and acknowledge our sponsor and usher him in right here this morning.
It's about music. There are crowds in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand for the right authority. Really can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, If you see a you motake, and I mean you cheche, do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Yes, Crime Stoppers Liberia, proud partner of the program, the Freedom Morning Rise, right here. So, like we promised, we got with us already in studio, Member County District 9 representative, who is also heavily campaigning for the re-election of President George Weah, and is showing that he himself is retained at the level of the legislature by the people of Member County District 9. Last time we spoke here, he was quiet and was very sure of his re-election. I don't know whether that is the case, because prior to campaign, things can be different. Doing campaign things are different. Election day more is highly different. So, Honorable Gweglo, what a way to say good morning to you. Welcome.
A very pleasant good morning to you and your colleagues and to the listening audience. Good morning.
Okay. Yes, I'm told you just came from the district, if not before yesterday or yesterday, you came from the district?
Yes, I came back day before yesterday after a hectic tour about almost 2 weeks in a row. And it was exciting. The good thing about electioneering or political leadership at the representative level is to start your engagement with the community just immediately after taking over. And that's what we have been doing in the past. And so we're just going around reinforcing that engagement, reminding our people how we have worked together successfully up to this point. So the visitation has been good. The community engagement has been good. It's been a reflection of our successes over the last 6 years. So it's become a celebration of our gains, where the engagement has been motivated by invitations for communities to say thank you to you, Honorable Gweglo, for what you have done for us the last 6 years, for which we are prepared to work along with you. Understandably, that cannot be an absolute statement where 100% of the people, will stand behind you. No, but generally, and so that has been encouraging. It shows that our people are appreciative when you do something for them genuinely and truly. The key thing about legislative support or legislative leadership is beyond the three cardinal responsibilities of lawmaking, representation, and oversight, you have to get involved with a community engagement. That can be very expensive and time consuming, but that's part of it. You cannot go to your people who don't see the Minister of Public Works and then they need their bridge done. Then you say, no, we've got to wait for Public Works Minister to come. Either you help them collectively do it, or you do that oversight, lobbying, representation activity, and then help the relevant agency of government to come and help you out. So we've been doing that very successfully. And I can say to you that the probability of us being re-elected is very high. It's very high, and we are grateful to our people for that.
And you've been there, you serve at the level of the legislature. They elected you. From the day you got elected, the momentum that elected you was different most definitely. And you into another election because by then you weren't try and maybe tested or proven, but now you've been try and looking at the current momentum from the district. Uh, People inviting you to engagement is one thing, but in terms of the sincerity on the part of those who are coming, on the faces of those who are coming, how do you see them?
Yeah, and that's a reality we have to gauge properly. Yeah, because not everybody who comes in a hall and say, "Oh, we are with you, truly with you," it's just a figure of speech. They come there to just participate in the celebration. But beyond that, we have what you call the door-to-door Jehovah's Witness, quote unquote, campaign. That's where you truly hear from people, and we've been doing that in the midst of the public gathering, the mass gathering. We still have specific conversations with the youth group, the women group, the elders group, to hear their concerns. Okay, we have been here for the last 6 years. What have we done that has been gratifying to you, that has been satisfactory to you? What have we done or what have we not done that brings about disenchantment and unhappiness? Tell us. Then, in many instances, in some instances, they will say that. They say, Honorable, you have done this well, but you have not done this. And so their words are more or less a caution and advice. Okay, we'll carry you the second time, but don't forget that you then reach this community. Yeah, make that your priority. And that's the level of sincerity, that I appreciate from our people. There are some who will just outrightly say, I was with you. You didn't do X, Y, and Z. And rather some of the reasons they gave, that's their own aspirations. Yeah, so you wonder about it, and so, but I still accept it. That's the reality. Say, accept it and say, well, look, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, so therefore I'm not with you. I say, okay, fine. Let's proceed and see how, we're going to make things better for all of us in the future. So it's exciting.
I'm asking this question because this is an election. This is a context that you're going into with how many persons going against?
9.
9 other
plus
persons.
me 10.
Okay,
Yeah, 9
10.
other persons.
9 other persons you're going against in the district. And based on the work, you will be elected or the decision will be taken by the people. But if you are not elected in the unfortunate situation, what is going to be your utmost regret, the greatest of all regrets that you will have? What are some of those things that you really wish to do now, or you wish you would have done, you never had the time, and you want the time to go there for the second time? And if you're not elected, what's going to be the most regret?
Well, thank you. And that's a real thought-provoking question. Yes, if I'm, God forbid, if I'm not re-elected, my major concern would be road rehabilitation and road connectivity. That still remains the challenge that we have. And during this administration, we advocated, our major road is the road that comes from Seklepi to Bankwe to Zikepa to Tabeta. We advocated, government accepted to do that road, and for some reason, the contractor did not perform. We raised the alarm, and the Polywaste Ministry, the whole team, along with some legislators, that's how we raised it. And they went out there, observed that indeed the contractor was not performing. So they canceled the contract. Unfortunately, the contract has not been, re-tendered and given again. So, and the probability of doing that now is just near zero. So that is a concern because there's a general tendency that when new leaders come, they define their own quote unquote priorities. You see, the road may not be a priority for new leaders. And that's why I want to see that road being elevated, because I know that the president that we're working with, he also is a bad road, quote unquote, medicine. And so if we are successful, and I can assure that indeed that road will be a priority, because the funding for it is still, provided for. You see, it hasn't gone away because the work was not done. It's just a matter of retendering the work and then proceeding. So that would be my concern, just in the unlikely event, that I'm not elected.
And with that, that would be a regret in case you are not elected. But there are things that you did for which you believe is going to set the basis for the decision of the citizens for which they will elect you. So what are those positive things? The developmental projects, maybe the number of individuals you've been able to empower, the provision of scholarships and all of those things. What are some of the things, the tangibles that people can look at in case I just enter in, do a register in District 9, for example, but I'm just entering there, I'm not living there, and I want to elect Honorable Gweglu. What are some of those things that I'm going to look at to say, yes, I think he can continue on this path?
Well, thank you. The tangibles, the infrastructure development. You start out first. If you choose to go through Bong County to go to Nima, you ride and cross the river or the ferry. That ferry has uplifted, the district to the extent that people cross over the St. John River in your vehicle and drive into District Number 9. That's the very first thing. Secondly, if you choose to go through Seklepie, you will no longer get stuck because the bridge is cut. Granted that those bridges are not concrete bridges, but they are properly maintained. Anytime, it wears out, the logs wear out, we go out there and reinforce it, so that the reason cannot be, the bridge is broken or the bridge is damaged. That is a very good thing. And as you go along the way, all 5 of the administrative districts in District Number 9 are impacted upon. For example, Mesono, you have a library building.
That is the home of my mother.
Yes, okay. A library building is now standing right next to the Dollier, a junior high school there. Library building is good because it provides an environment for students to go and do their research. That is good. And you go to Nyokiai, the bridge, a major bridge along the way was done with concrete pillars and steel plate, runway. So that has been completed, and the road is now accessible by vehicle. You can drive from Mela straight to Nyokiai. Then you go to Blaming. Blaming wanted a market building, and we completed that market building, being whitewashed and everything else. Dedicated. So that's the Mesono side. A few of the things on the Mesono side. You go on the Zenla side. A radio was there. It got damaged. As a matter of fact, the previous administration that took the radio went and took the parts when it got damaged. We said, no, we cannot have this district without a radio station. So we ordered new equipment and built a radio house, instead of a radio room. It's there now functioning 24/7. We have a legislative office building that is there also.
For the first time
for the first time in the history. Yeah. Even the town hall there, we've laid the tiles and everything else, and the improvement is going on. That's then you go to Glade Dugapa. Glade Dugapa, one of the hand pump, safe drinking water is important. We install it for them. Those are some of the few of the things. You go on to Blinon. Blinon got a logging company, out of which now they have received cash for their land rental fees 2 times, $27,000 plus $5,000 for student, scholarship program is there. The company put 2 equipment at the disposal of the citizens to rehabilitate their roads. It's there. A lot of employment going on and so forth. A clinic building is in Zanzei that we constructed along with Acres of Hope, Belgium. You go to the same Zanzei, a market building is nearing completion. It's been roofed and everything. As we speak right now, another market building is being done in Kwending. Those are big towns, in district. In Blenheim area. Then you move on to Bitoru. Wonton has a very big facility. Yeah, there as their Palava Hut, where even NGOs go out to have their meetings out there now. Their school building is also under construction. We provided a roofing sheet, and we are doing the sawing of the planks for them. You go to Douglas Town. The president went there, a consequence of which a big clinic is now in Douglas Town. Has been completed as a matter of dedication.
You still get a president farm land in your district?
Yes, it's still there.
Okay.
It's still there. We're maintaining it, along with the citizens. Yes.
So
then you come from there quickly, and
yeah.
then come to Do. Do wanted a high school. We worked with the Ministry of Education to elevate, Vami to Vami High School now, Vami Memorial High School in Gray. Then you have the youth building in Zia number 2. We work along with the young people. They have a splendid, beautiful youth building out there now that has been completed. Then you go to Dumpa. Dumpa, again, one of the market building, the biggest market building is in Dumpa, in the district is in Dumpa. So some of these things have been done. You add up to that, all students that come from Nimba District 9 and go to the Nimba University are provided financial assistance through our effort, just for youth development. And you go out to Sanicola itself, there's a mini dormitory building out there to house students who come from electoral district number 9 who need 1 or 2 months to be accommodated until they can find their own place.
And just quick, that I'm sure is that my man Ato. Yeah. So having said all of those things, they are all good things. The decision is up to the people.
Yes.
And that would be where you will not be around.
Yes.
But in Nimba now, let's go to Nimba politics.
Yes.
Senator Prince Johnson supported the CDC in the last elections. He's been whining and dining with the government.
Yes.
But of recent, he is jumped across and giving reasons for his actions. He said, it's good that you're here because you are a member of the legislature, or you were a member of the legislature.
Yes.
You are, of course, still there. But Senator Johnson, some of the reasons that he gave for which he jumped across the other political party is that the government had not been paying attention to Nimba, and that in fact the government owed Nimba and the government has not made available those cash and other things. You from the legislature, from the county legislative caucus, we should be aware. I'm sure you are also aware of that money. Is it true that the statement comes from Senator Johnson?
Well, in every arrangement, when you make a decision, you want to give reasons to give it credence. Yes, Senator Johnson remains our senator. I hold him in high esteem. I've been respectful to him, and I'll continue to do so. But and I respectfully distance, or we go in separate ways now. Until election is over, then we'll come back together. But the process by which funding the social development fund comes is not just Nimba County. It comes to all 3 counties in this country, and there's a process that we go through. Even the amount of 7 million that I've been hearing about, no, government does not owe 7 million.
Okay.
Government has not been able to transfer, the amount that is due to the counties, for the social development funding. Notwithstanding, they don't owe 7 million. They're not refusing to give the money. It has to be done in a context where proper, a county sitting, and we're still struggling whether we go into the budgetary law for county sitting or we go into the local government act for county sitting. So under those kinds of conditions, you want to be careful how you release money. Those are the reasons for which, there's a delay in the amount that needs to be processed, for the 3 counties.
You saw the last county sitting that ended up in confusion, where Senator Johnson allegedly handpicked individual he wanted to serve on the PMC because he thought the money from the county was going to be sent to the county cover, and those individuals that he handpicked will be individuals who will be utilized in those monies. Looking at the last county sitting, you now, sincerely, do you think the action of the lawmaker or the senator was in the right direction? And why you think he took that decision?
Well, there were some issues at the county sitting where the election was held, and I took the heat, for that because of people's expectation. But unfortunately, I was not even in the hall when the election took place. Okay. I was not there. I was outside because they carried matter to the court and we wanted to go there to resolve the court issue. By the time we got by, Senator Johnson, who was chair of the caucus, had presided over. Yes, there were some issues, the transparent nature, of the electioneering process was not as it should be. Perhaps things were taken for granted. Even some of the candidates didn't come into the hall, and perhaps they were all waiting to see, how things were going to be handled when election was called for and election was acted upon and the gavel was knocked. By the time we, even as caucus members got into the hall, election was over. So those are some of the issues. And notwithstanding, the caucus came back together to see how we could work with, the elected officials, to make sure that things are guarded properly, and that's what we started doing together. It was contentious for the first few months after election, after their election, but subsequently we worked with them, put them on the right path, to move the county, projects forward. I can say to you that again, supervision was an issue. Some of the projects that the PMC, handed to contractors, have not been completed. And of course, it is the lawmakers who take the heat for that, unfairly, you see. But yes. So those are some of the issues that are surrounding, the PMC. Their tenure is over now.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And because of what we're going through now, nothing may happen until after election, for which, again, we determine whether we're going by the Local Government Act or the budget law. If it's a Local Government Act, then the county administration under the new leadership, will have to put together the 9-man committee, to run the affairs of the county.
The president is expected to arrive in the country on tomorrow, and as part of that, the CDC has said, supporters of the party and the government should go and await the president. You are one of those. The president is expected in Nimba County, and you've been campaigning heavily for His Excellency. Looking at all of what he has done, and looking at the current campaign activities going on, what are you hearing? All your men that are in the field, what are they hearing from citizens in line with the decisions that they will take on October 10th? Because some believe that Senator Johnson still hold that county as like some would say there, that he carry anywhere at any time.
Yes. Senator Johnson still has a leverage, no question about that, but there are times that those conditions wane away. Yeah, it's getting less and less. The control he had before is not what it is now, because people are beginning to see the reality of things. The campaigning in Nimba for the president, the momentum for his arrival, his tour of the county is going way up. For example, District 9 was never a traditional, quote-unquote, CDC district. But you go out there now, District 9 has turned blue. The last function that we had, the one before that time, it was just amazing. People query us, why you join CDC? People have reservations. And again, I expected that, but now they are the same ones who are telling me, oh, Honorable, it was a good decision you made. We are with you. We are coming along. So, and that is resonating throughout the entire county. Are we going to win the county 100%? No, it's just not possible. But I can tell you that the show of CDC in that county will be high to the extent that we'll get our fair share, and our fair share will be the bigger share, in Nimba. So you hear that everywhere you go in any part of the county, because as we come from district number 9, we pass through district number 7, we pass through district number 8 and district number 1. So we just don't pass through, we stop and engage, because part of our responsibility is to ensure that the message is beyond our own district number 9. And so it's resonating. The colleagues out there are working well. The team members are out there every day. You go to district number 4, you go to district number 5 and 3, the work is going on very well. District number 2, all over the county. So the expectation is that indeed the president's visit will reinforce and place us on the right path for us to support, the president for this one round victory that we are expecting.
And there were activities held in the district, in the county, I should say, and we've seen the showmanship of crowd. So some say, quote unquote, the Unity Party produced a crowd that they said, according to them, is the biggest in the country, or will be the biggest in the country. And the crowd is just one thing. But in terms of the decisions, what are some of those things? Senator Johnson said, Nimba have not benefited enough from the government for them to re-elect the president. What are some of those things? Some of those tangibles that you are taking to the people as reasons for which the president should be re-elected, not just in Nimba, but across Liberia?
Right. A lot of things have happened in Liberia under this leadership, and you have to look at it in the proper context. We had a devastating COVID-19 experience. We thank God that it did not impact on us as much as it impacted even on developed countries. So we thank God for that. But we operate within a global setting. You know, what happens in country A affects us in country B. And so under those conditions, this government was still able to do some things. The major concern that we have, all of us have, that is the road connectivity is key. Because with road connectivity, you can have easy access to your communities. You can move your goods and services safely and quickly. You know, you can move around. Yeah, the education sector people can move around freely to move and go to their schools and so forth and so on. That is going on, particularly in Nima County. You know, coming from Ganta to Seklepie, it's halfway paved. To Tapeta, you no longer will get stuck in the mud like we used to get stuck. And once the dry season comes, they will start degrading the upgrading the quota placement on the road. You go from Ganta to Sanikole, to Kample, you know, to Logwatu. Easy access, you know, so those are things. Now, another key part that, you know, I have a passion for is the intervention in the education sector, where WIAC fees, or WAS fees as they call it, are no longer paid by the parents. Their parents, your children can say, oh, we got a WIAC fee to pay, or tell them, say, no, ask them to pay something else. You know, that is important, as simple as it may be. It is important because WAS fees stop children from, you know, obtaining a high school.
I remember in high school, some of my colleagues were sent out of class because of
WIAC fees. Yeah. So that is being handled. The student population, if students don't go to college now, then they don't want to. Because public universities and colleges, you don't pay the tuition now. The fees are still there. You still got to pay small fees, which might amount to $50, $70. But that one, that's where we fill in the gap, you see. But the major part of it, which is the tuition, is now paid by government. Those two things give access, because the generational change, we can't stop it. The only thing is we got to prepare for the generational change. The young people who must take over from us have to be prepared. And that's one way that they will be prepared when they have easier access. You know, the hindrances to additional education are removed. And that is happening under the watch of President Weah. Then you go to the health sector. We got to be healthy. Go to River Says. You know, there's a big, government.
I think the district clinic there before entering Yapasta.
Is there. You know, his friendship, connection with the Emirates. You know, they have this big facility at Bapolu. Yeah, you know, similar to JFD in Nimba. You know, so all these things are happening. And the rural rehabilitation is not only limited to Nimba. You go on the southeastern, I mean, the Riverside side, the Sanu side, in that direction. Some work is going on, you know. So with all these, it goes to show that the first term has laid a foundation that must be built upon properly at the second term. And that's why that's why we are asking, you know, the nation to allow President Weah, you know, give him a second chance so that he will, you know, add on to what he has done so far.
Some are saying Nimba County should produce a president, and others believe that that presidency should come through the Unity Party. What's your thought on that?
Well, in my own mind, Nimba County will produce a president. Yeah, how that president will come, we hope it will be after 2029. Yes, or at that time. There are many qualified, competent people in Nimba who can be president, and we should position ourselves to provide that, you know, opportunity for the county. What is obtaining is that a lot of us have ambition, and we want to express these ambitions at the same time. It works against us, you know. If we want to be president, or the county to produce president, and it shouldn't be a Nimba president. That's the key thing we need to look at. You know, we shouldn't say, oh, Nimba County will produce. A president will come from Nimba County. Let me put it that way. Yeah. You know, yes. And so we have to gauge it properly. The timing is important. You know, when can we galvanize ourselves, work with the political parties of this country so that we can be placed in a better position, you know, to be elected as president coming from that county. We need to think about that carefully and prepare ourselves and put our duck in row and our resources together so that we can make that happen in the near future.
You've been observing the campaign activities, not just in your district, but in the entire county. In terms of violence, what's your take on it? How is it like, and what's your message to young people against violence?
My message to young people is we should not go into electioneering with desperation. Yeah, it is desperation sometimes that can cause the violence. It is our ability or our inability to be tolerant, to be patient. That's what it is. We live in a geographic confine given to us by God. Nothing will happen for us to separate from one another. Tomorrow, after election, we'll see each other, live in the same communities and so forth. So there's no need for us to be holier than the Pope, meaning I can talk to my colleague, the contestant, or my supporters, want to fight each other. No. Young people must desist from that. Young people must know that tomorrow they will take on the mantle of leadership. And what they do now is the recommendation that we're looking at in the future. How will I consider a person to take leadership in the district or this country when you are being involved in abusing, when you are being involved in fighting, when you are being involved in being abrasive to others? No, that's not a good way to go. And we advise our people not to do that, in electioneering. People got to be tolerant. People got to be patient. So far, there have been pockets of resistance or misbehavior. And we call on them to really desist, let them reflect on what went wrong and correct it so that, we cannot have that repeated.
So I think we can go to the lines now and pick us on 0776 104 104 0776 104 104 or to our followers there from the diaspora. You can call us on +231 86 500 104 on WhatsApp. Here on this edition of the program, you'll be live. Let's pick this one. Morning. Your name and from where you join us?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Freedom FM. Good morning, the club Liberia.
Okay.
My name is Livingstone Gajia, and I join you from Nima County, precisely Secretary.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I am in some of the district, and I want to say congratulations to Irwin Dr. Johnson and Weglow for the numerous contribution across district number 9, Nima County. This is the first of its kind in lawmakers to be able to touch a development to touch the 5 administrative district of district number 9. So it's a plus. I just want to say to you, Weglow, you just have to relax yourself. The re-election is sure, and there is nothing can stop it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your participation. Let's pick this one. Morning. Yeah, you live. Go ahead. Your name from where you join us.
Yes,
Mohammed, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to tell you what I want to thank you for a speech, very, very excellent. Thank you. I want to support the president until he be re-elected. I thank you for his support and encourage the people to vote for the president. So I could be going
Thank you. Let's pick this one. Morning.
Yeah.
You live. Walk away from the monitor or I'll cut you off.
Sorry, it's me, Roger Matari, and you from District 9.
Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, there are some issues that have been discussed by the Honorable. I just want to appeal to you to take a visit to the district. Because if some of the issues are not factual to admit,
make reference to some.
Okay, like for example, they work with $50,000 United States with a lot. I have a document here with me. If you want me to bring it to the office, I can do it.
Okay, so let's hold on you for now. Then you bring it to the office. We go through them because we're not just use the platform to make statements against. Go ahead, Mr. One. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I want to use the media to appreciate Johnny Grego for the numerous development in his district and the contribution of the world Liberia a lot. So I want to tell you, my family, my friends, my colleagues, I result a re-election at the show. There's no hindrance about it. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so very kindly, Roger. You can please get me the documents and what you say before. Let not make blanket. No, I can keep you. Let not make blanket statements or allegations against people who will not be able to authenticate this. Let's pick this call. Morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing, Amaka?
Yeah, go Miami and Benny. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, myself, my name is too. I just want to say congrats to my lawmaker. Actually, I'm very regretting that in my district, and in the district, which is Larry quite a representative.
And
we
got somebody there too. Gineton Pelile is there to go. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Gineton Pelile, he will carry you, will try to see. But I just want to say thank to the lawmaker there. Let you continue the hard work, and we will continue to support this government until to the end. So thank you for your party. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very kindly for the participation as well. This caller morning.
Yeah, morning, you know.
Yeah, you live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Pupu Mohammed Kamba calling from the Japan freeway for the re-election person. We are 2023.
Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, you know, let me say thanks to the Honorable Mayor. He spoke well, and this is what we will be elected in the country. Come 2023. And you know, we accept for Honorable Mayor to speak again, bring sense on the table, not to bring battle. It's this message to the people. So, Honorable Mayor, thank you for your advice and other things. Take it in and present. We have TV that will come to 2023.
Thank you. Let's pick this one. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning, you live, Chief. Your name and from where you join us.
I'm Franklin. I'm recording from District 13. Some supporter of CDC from 2005 up to now. So my concern has to do with the board that was killed the last time in District 4. How we will do the investigation on for the lawmaker to please shed light on it.
Okay. They won't get problem. Oh, they didn't even come. Yeah, they call a morning.
Good morning, Hagar.
Augustus, go ahead.
Yes, let me say good morning to Honorable Johnson Gwekolo and all these lovely Nigerians who are tuned this morning. For the record, this is Costello, our Vice Chair for Administration, CDC District number 7, Moswado County. Honorable Gwekolo, let me say thanks to you for pushing the case of our president. You know, like you rightly put it, Nima County, as any other county in Nigeria, deserves to have a president. I mean, that is, if that person is qualified, he is up to the task. But at the same time, it should not be at the detriment of somebody else's life. We cannot be or creating or just planning in our mind evil against our fellow only to satisfy our personal interest. The interest of Nigeria, Nima County as a particular or case in question, is something that every one of us are concerned of. If Nigeria if Nima County is developed today, the effect of that development will trickle down to other counties. And as such, no single county should be given preference or be seen as the only county that is capable of doing anything other than the other counties. So let me just say a hats off to you, and I pray that all your supporters will join you in our quest to see the re-election of President William October 2023. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. From this side, let's go to this end. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, man, you live. Oh, you got me spoil your whole friendship now.
Good morning.
Go ahead, you live.
My name is Ashley Mwakali from the People Party India.
Azalin, go ahead from District 12.
Yeah, from District 12. That's going to tell the opposition say we really let that president we are. They like it or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Masisi, try calling. Yeah. So let's pick this call while we anticipate Masisi. Okay, let me pick Masisi. I beg you. Morning.
I beg you. Not let's come on the radio, please.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Let me say good morning to my brother in studio.
Thank you.
No, I don't have much to say. I want to tell him that President we will be re-elected. Let's go from door to door, from town to town, from village to village. Let's tell the police land, the police is ready to check where they message for the land. And we're getting them as well. My brother, we're getting them. And we always say, if they begin going in the country, they'll threaten us. What you want to do? We will go to the pool to vote President we are. So let's come out here our number. So don't be afraid. You can't do a damn thing to anybody in your country. They want you for the dollar all year. We want to get us. It will be the last one to get us in the country. We will get us to justice.
Thank you, Mas. The last 2 weeks of campaign, I'm going to spend the entire week in Nima. So I'm going to Nima early next week. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, Chief.
I want to say hi to my powerful
Representative
How much here on
for
education?
Nima County Samuel J. Collins calling for GSM for Nima County State now.
But it needs that. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for topic on the discussion. What now? Our prayer now is how to go welcome our president tomorrow and how to see a campaign for 2 to 2 to let our president coming to work in 2023. Thank God.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's speak this one finally. Morning.
Yeah, good morning,
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Rose.
Let me appreciate our honorable foundation number 9. I have been there with him and we rode on the ferry way from Capital Building because the newer working relationship he has with we, the 07 at the ground of the Capital Building. So I hope the people of Nima County will be sincere and re-elect him come out to attend. Thank you for putting me on this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's speak this one finally. Go ahead.
Welcome. Thank you. We know how we come on the radio that you speak to them. We are talking and
I call him a diplomatic politician. I call him a diplomatic politician.
I'm telling you, brother, every time you come on the radio, the way you talk, the way other people talk, like they get power, they get this, nobody should say that, there's a burglar. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, so can we replace him with the call out here, bro? He ran. Yeah, morning.
Morning for the Freedom FM family.
Go ahead.
My name is Lawrence, and I do join the conversation on the JP Freeway, Cannabisville, district number 12.
Okay.
And I'm from Nima County, electoral district number 9. From Point Township, Nima County.
Okay.
Thank you ever so much. To your CEO guest, he made mention about the development initiative within the district. And I would like to see Mr. Power why he tells is still there. Because
which one of them?
On his while, our district has been very, very bad in terms of leadership ability, in terms of development. The ferry that he carried over there, the ferry money has been collected from citizens, and the money can be every week they take 40,000, 45,000 per citizen.
So, have you been able to authenticate as to whether he's aware that money is being collected, or what was the decision that led to the money being collected? But you admit to it that it's actually true that he carried ferry there, right?
Yeah. Like I was saying, they carried the ferry there, and the ferry that he carried there, the morning, the constituency in 30,000 that you reached.
Sorry, I can't continue with no more time. So I don't know what Livingston again want to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is David Livingston, guys. Yeah, like I said, I join you from Seven City. I just listened to one big agent, who just called to try to hide the
The man say forget about it.
Run information, right? Those are people who don't go in the district. Those are people like sitting Morovia and just run through propaganda. I challenge you to come to the district. This is the government who has.
Wow, your call is being harmonized. I mean, yeah. So I don't know if you listen to them. Those at least two concerns. So you can address them.
Yes, thank you very much. And I like to appreciate all the callers who give me high marks. I appreciate that. Those are things that motivate me, to continue to do what I do, for which you are saying thank you to me. And interestingly, a number of them are not even from the district, but they still appreciate what we do in the district, and that's very good. Yeah, we all will push for a president. We have to be re-elected. But to Matari,
Roger Matari.
Yes, I really wonder sometimes, their thought process, because Roger gets involved with the county sitting process. The district sitting, he's part of it. He has documents, but the reading and interpretation of that document is the problem that they have, And I just said it. I said the supervision provided by the PMC created a problem for which lawmakers are, being blamed. And I didn't even get out of the studio. Then he called to blame me for a situation that that I have no control over in terms of supervision. You see, so that wall bridge is there. It was provided for. The money is in the budget. I articulated that clearly. 18,000 was paid. 32,000 is still there. Roger, the document you got in your hand, look at it, read it, understand it. You don't understand it, come to me. I will explain it to you. You see. Then you talk about a ferry project. The ferry project has been the most significant project in the place there. And let me say to this Lawrence fan who is from Kwending, I don't know when last he went there, your school, KVDC, through our effort, through our recommendation, through our support, they got a new principal now. Yeah, Eddie Smith is the principal of KVDC. So you talk about no development. The market that we're building in your place there is being completed. You go out there, you will see it. So back to the ferry. At least you acknowledge that a ferry is there, which you are cross on. Canoe was in the place. Canoe, paddle canoe. Anybody ride a canoe, they pay money. So how you expect people to ride the ferry and don't pay money? And the money is collected by the people in the town. You see? So you get first, it now come from 80,000. It gone down to 45. So it keeps going down. So these are people who are just, their information is intended just to misguide the public, deceive the public. And I told you before, my children, you can't run government, you can't run politics based on misinformation and disinformation. When you do that, you get off balance because you lie today, you got to lie tomorrow to cover the lie that you did yesterday. So this is not correct. You see, so the ferry is there for everybody's use. You go there, you go there. The people in Bingland, I like to appreciate Bingland people, because they are the one mining the thing, taking care of it. Periodically, the engineer will go there to look over it to make sure that everything is performing correctly. So I just like to say to my people, thank you. Yes, we did a tour. We completed a tour. Then, just recently, and we are re-galvanizing. When our president comes tomorrow, we receive him. Then we'll go ahead to Nima with his arrival so that we can tour the country together and elevate, the support for him in the place there.
Yeah, so anything finally before I take leave of you?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you, Higa, and to you and your team members for providing us this opportunity. Yeah, the platform that you all give us, sometimes, we in the press,
especially this one.
We can get at it, but we appreciate it. This country is for all of us. Leadership comes and leadership goes. Let us not be desperate to the extent that we will continue and we'll get into disagreements and fights among ourselves. And at the end of the day, then we can't even look each other in the face, because the election is over. That's our situation in this country. We must respect one another. I appreciate what we have done, and I'm grateful to the people of Electoral District number 9 for their support to me. I look forward to them re-electing me graciously like they did in the past. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very kind. Neighbor County District 9 Representative Johnson Gwegu from our chair station at the level of at the lower house, and of course now the chair on claims and petition. Rules, order, and administration. Sorry, I'm taking Honorable Gompu work and giving it to you. Sorry. Yeah, I hope Gompu not hold me in content. So thank you. It was nice that you factor in right here on this edition of the show. Thank you. So, folks, that's how we like to draw down the curtains on today's edition of the program, the Freedom Morning Rise. The team will be here on Monday, beginning with Abu, Sharif, and Austin. Until I'm back here, hopefully it's on Friday. Let's pray for the peace of Liberia. The president is expected in country tomorrow. So if you are there and you believe that the president did a splendid representation of Liberia outside there, you can join the team tomorrow to welcome the president from the Rabos International Airport. So let's go for this one, taking us home from our team song, taking us home here onto this edition of the program.